Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Don't have a mouse to say cancel.
You gotta make sure you turn off that background.
You
gotta shut her off. Okay.
Oh, okay. So I can hit cancel?
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, this is for Ev.
You're set to go, Patty, although you got background noise.
Okay, guys. Hello. How are you? Welcome, everybody, to the Environmental Quality Commission meeting, Thursday, October 8th. It is Zoom, and we need to get called to order. Let's see. So we have me, Joyce. Right, Joyce, you're here? Right, yeah, I see you. Okay, Joe. Guys, in order to temporarily turn off your mute, just press your space bar and hold it. Okay, and I see Mr. Hillman. Yay! How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're not quite at a quorum yet.
No, we have to wait for Karen, who's supposed to be here. Because I did hear from her last night, so.
I'm here. Hello.
There she is. Where are you? There she is. Oh, you're looking fabulous. Thank you, Karen. All right, we're on our way. All right, so I'm going to ask everybody if you're willing and able to get up and we can.
Up.
Pardon me? There we go. Pledge of Allegiance.
Officially to you or no?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
Say that again?
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and liberty for all.
I don't believe so.
James, you're still talking.
Sorry, Patty, I'm in 2 meetings.
There he goes. All righty. Thank you, everyone. Let's see. All righty. We have the minutes that were sent out to you for September 10th, our last meeting. Does anyone have a corrections, additions, changes that need to be put in?
Yeah, Patty, I do.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I need to get a copy in front of me. Go ahead.
Under new business,
Yes, ma'am.
it says Bonkel will also submit a press release to staff and the chairperson to be posted as a news flash on the town's website. I thought I had also said, and for newspaper distribution.
Oh, that's fine. All right. So we shall, okay, so let me go under. Is that on page 2? I'm looking for this.
It's 7A, Patty.
Okay. And we'll put and to newspapers, Joyce?
Yep.
Thank you for the
You're welcome.
for the addition. That was true. Okay, very good. Thank you. I will entertain a motion then to accept the minutes as corrected this evening. I need somebody to make a motion, guys.
I motion to accept the minutes with the adjustment.
I
Thank you.
second.
Yay. Okay, we got this. All in favor?
Agenda up and
I
Yay. All right, you're all in favor. All right, we did. We approved with the change. Approved.
Yeah. Here?
Okay. All right. We don't look like we have anybody visiting with us, do we, James?
Nobody on from the public, Patty.
Thank you. Moving on. This could be a quicker. Well, we have some fun stuff I made up. All right. Hold on. I have to get my other page. Oops, now stand back here looking normal. All right. Sustainable Connecticut activities. All righty. I sent out to everyone, and hopefully you got it to be able to watch it, which was a video that was done in conjunction with Sustainable Connecticut and CPTV. And if you haven't watched it, then go back to our Facebook page, keep Newington Litter Free, and take a look and watch it. It was fabulous, and it should help inspire you to what can get accomplished by some really great volunteers that we all are. So that's really great. Let's see. You also had, because this is just, okay, yeah, I just want to make sure. We had, also you got my email regarding the resignation from our Sustainable Connecticut town representative as he was leaving the employ of the town. So I have a tentative meeting with the town manager next week, of which we hope to go over who's going to be stepping into his shoes. So I can't report that we have anybody yet, but we may. And again, that was all in my little update. I've also made for sustainable events and activities. I have made a contact with the library regarding possibly doing a film talk where we have several films to show, and then we gather people together. Now, this is for down the road a little bit because we're dealing with how can we show a film that we have to have permission and rights and so forth. So that's all coming together. But one of the things I'll be working on first is coming up with what is in our current collection so that we can actually start doing an educational thing by having a reading list of books that will have to do with the items in our bailiwick of titles. So anyway, and an opportunity also to suggest volumes that we might want to have in the library. Okay, so next I'm going to make sure I have this. Oh, that's Joyce's second. All right. Okay, that's all. I'm just trying to see. Yep. Okay. That's all I have for that area. Does anyone have anything else at this time? Guess it looks like it. All right. Facebook page. All right. I want to thank Karen for stopping in and hitting that like button or actually posting stuff. Thank you. If you're so inclined, please go and put something there. If we don't build up continue to build it up, we won't be able to get more folks involved, and we need that. So please do that. Okay, we have some really good things. James, if you're listening, could you put up the slides? Yes, guys, I made slides. I don't know. James, you there? Oh, there we go. Okay. Trying to get together with a couple things here. Okay. With great help from Mr. Hillman, we have been through, this is 7.5.1 in the Sustainable Connecticut Action. It's to report materials management data and reduce waste. Now, it's worth 5 points. Well, get started, right? And I guess that's not supposed to be 3. That's supposed to be a check mark. It says identify the town's contact person and information. We know where Rob is. So and his information actually is displayed very nicely on the town's website. So all we have to do is we'll take a picture of that.
Patty?
Yes.
What did you want the 3s changed to?
They were check marks. You probably don't have the font.
All right.
Don't worry about it. I'll remember that. You don't have the font because they were little wingdings. Okay. Then we completed the worksheets. Okay, hold on. Which we actually found out there was an error in the worksheet. Thank you, Rob, because he was adding some numbers and then they weren't multiplying correctly. And we've actually So I don't know, they've been using this for a long time, and we were the ones that found out that this thing had an error. So what it does do, and let me get one of them in front of me. Sorry. Okay, here they are. We went back 5 years. Okay. And for each year, we filled this form out. The top part of the form is to compute the total pounds of garbage, or more called municipal solid waste. So, and what year do I have in front of me here? I don't know. Okay, we'll look at that coming up. And this particular, and then we go to the Census Bureau and pick up numbers like average persons per household. We go back and figure out occupancy. And we also figure out the number, quote, the number of people that this represents in municipal waste. So it's a bunch of math, but it's, once you plug the right number in, you're all set. So right here, don't go there yet. Go back one, please. Bastard. All right. And so we found for June 30, 2020, 648 pounds per capita. That means every man, woman, and child and alien living in town threw out 648 pounds last year. That is a frightening number. Though the average for the state could be somewhere near 800. So we're a little on the shyer side, which actually is good. And I have 2 question marks going. We have to now finish, now that we have numbers and they're correct, and we need to present them in some form because it has to be made available to the public. Because that's, and we have to have proof, i.e. by putting it on the web page or doing something of that nature. Now we can go, James. Okay, so what you can see here is the 5 years. Now, the reason we did 5 years is 7.5.2 requires a 5-year look back. So I might as well do this now, and then we can work on the second one later, because this one is the 5.1. So we can look at the total tons collected of municipal waste, or more commonly I like to call the garbage, the green barrel stuff. And you can see we have been pretty consistent. 2020, we're up a little, but we have to remember that since starting in February through June, we've all been locked up in our homes a lot longer than most times. With our average persons per household, pretty much stays the same. So does the population of Newington. It doesn't really change. And that's where we're actually in a trend of going upwards, not downwards, which is just the opposite of what we're supposed to be doing. So we have 648 and 0.11 pounds per person. All right, now the next one, please. All right. Okay. All right. So
Sorry, mouse rolled.
That's okay. Okay, so that finishes that area. So all we have to do is come up with the appropriate little, how we're going to display it on. Rob's can do that, and we'll get it on the website. We'll take photographs of the website before and after, and we will have accomplished 5 points. Now, the second half of this, which goes back to the 1 pound. Remember I kept saying 1 pound? Everybody, 1 pound? Well, the math, the actual math in this, actually turns around and works out to be 1 pound per person per week. So in this area of 10 to 50 points, 10 points for every 10% reduction in garbage, not increase, but reduction. We pick a baseline, and well, our baseline, if we take our lowest year, all we're doing is increasing. So we've got to show a decrease. So that, I guess start with the last year we finished, which was this past June. 10%, if we go down 10%, each person has to throw away 65 pounds less in a year. It's probably doable. We need to come up with a communication plan with some tips, some suggestions of what people can do. Karen, tell them about what you posted on the Facebook page that a couple days ago. You had made a great suggestion to somebody about being overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah. So someone had suggested something about a sponge, and the post that you had suggested about saying before and after, she thought it was the wrong sponge, and I said, no, it's you're working in the right direction, because what she was doing was taking the sponge and washing it in the dishwasher and making it last, and it doesn't have to, instead of using a cloth and putting it in the laundry. So she still had the right train of thought. It was just a different thought, right? So that's
Absolutely.
still going in the right direction.
Absolutely. And I think your most thoughtful statement to her was not to be overwhelmed. And it's all about small steps.
Right.
You can't go from X to Y without a bunch of steps in between and change the way that you do things or whatever. So if we would like to get 10 points, this is a long range plan, because we have until about June of next year in which to communicate, show tips and so forth. Now I'm trying to find my note. Hopefully I had it out. Oops. Nope. Okay, no, I don't have them right. Find them right here. I thought they were all right here with me. All right. I apologize. But some of my notes were, and I would really ask for about how to go about this. This is a big thing, and how do we get out to folks? So I need your ideas. I got a couple, but I'd like to hear other people's first. You've got any? So.
I have an idea.
All right, Joyce, you go first. Hold on, honey. I want to make sure I take good notes. I'm ready. Go ahead.
Is there some way we can incorporate the savings of waste from the Buy Nothing Newington site? So much of that stuff is recycled or reused or given away or whatever. And I think we could probably easily meet that 10% reduction if somehow we could gather data from what is being saved or given away or not thrown away from that site, using that site, data from that site.
Well, that's a good question. Don't know, because I usually put something, well, I've done a few things and I put it up there, and if not, it was going to go to some other recycling, but otherwise it would go in the trash. Good point. Okay, that is interesting. Let me tell you that the 10% reduction, if we do that, that's 960 tons, right? Of course I don't, yeah, 963 tons, which is a lot of pounds. And the 963 tons would equate to somewhere in the neighborhood about just shy of $95,000 that we would not pay to burn garbage.
I have one more comment.
Go ahead.
I'll give an example. Somebody on that Buy Nothing Newington site was giving away, I don't know, I think maybe 3-4 pounds of cat food. It could be dog food, whatever. And somebody else said they wanted it. Now, if somebody else didn't want it, that 3 pounds of cat food would have gone into the garbage. Perfect example. Recycling, reusing, reducing.
Okay, that's actually good. I'm not sure if they carry that kind of information, but I have talked with them a couple times, or I should say communicated with them a couple times, and it's worth asking if they have any, because it is not just a local thing, it's quite large, and maybe there's some information that's involved in there. Okay. So if we had a goal of just 10%, because that's the only way we get 10 points. If we did 20%, we get 20 points. So it's geared to that. But what other ways, and how do we reach out, and who are the various different constituencies that we can reach to?
Yeah, I think the communication is key, right? And I love the information on the previous page, and sharing, this is what's important. We're going in the wrong direction. I think people need to see that trend, and I think that's where it starts, is educating there first. And this is why we're doing it, because we are going in the wrong direction. And sharing that goal, we could save $95,000. That's taxes. That's money in people's pocket. That is powerful. Obviously, that's why you calculated that.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
Rob gives me numbers,
Rob,
and
okay,
I calculate.
Okay. Well, thank you both. But I think that's the key, is you maybe Newington Life, and then there's something we can do, an article in Newington Life and share that, or even just I can't think of the other. Is it Crier still around too?
Yes. So is the Mark Apollo. He writes for the Rare Reminder. Okay, I've got those two. Okay, those are the obvious ones. How do you feel about flyers to go in kids' backpacks?
I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that one.
Me too, because flyers end up as waste. That's not a good example. That's not a good way of communicating.
Well, I like to tell you one thing. The reason people didn't show up is nobody got a flyer for the poster contest, because the flyers didn't go out because COVID hit. And supposedly it went around other electronic methods, and we got very little support in working through that. Going in the backpack is usually good, because then this piece of paper goes home, and and we can craft it towards a family as opposed to just a more generic one, and get the school on board, because that's approximately, with students, give or take, over 2,000 homes that will actually be in a different method. Just an idea, so we can go from there.
So you're saying if we used a flyer, it would go into 2,000 homes?
Probably, yeah, because there's about that many. There's approximately 4,000 students in the Newington School District.
But
and I'm just saying, 2 kids per house. That's 2,000 homes.
Okay, but what about the other 30,000 citizens of Newington?
Well, that's what you talked already about: Newington Life, the Crier, and the Rare Reminder. I'm trying to get to the children also, because educating our youth is really key. There was another area that might be helpful, is the department heads, because part of the trash that we have is the trash that comes out of town hall. And so probably some type of maybe a little contest among department heads. What do you think, Rob?
It's a fraction of what the waste that the town produces. I just don't know how you would quantify who's getting rid of the most and who would be declared the winner, so to speak.
We can get ingenious about something. Okay, I know it's a fraction, but every single person is a fraction of the total. So, okay, that's a good point. Let's see, what else do we have? I figured there's a good opportunity to possibly do something that was short and sweet at the senior center, because they do a lot of their programming now is all done online in this same format of Zoom meetings.
Well, so what did you have in mind for the senior center?
Well, part of this whole thing is just kind of having a nice little conversation.
Or with the veterans, is that possible as well?
Good idea, because they have a coffee hour or so forth that they meet. That would be a great place because they have quite a gathering that gets together. I think it's once every other week.
Do they have a community center as well there, or would the coffee gathering be more people?
They have no. They don't meet at the senior center yet. They just meet at the. I think it's the VFW hall. But let's remember, this is not something that's going to get done one week and we're all out of here. This has got to be something that we're, I think, and Karen said it so well, not to be overwhelmed. Making small, tiny changes is the only way this is going to go down. And I tell you, the towns that have done this and have gotten this have done 20% drops. And they may have done it over 2 seasons, but they have done it. And so that's important for us to see. Let's see. What other avenue or what other groups we might be able to attract or to suggest to?
I was thinking that you could hear me, right?
Yes, Joe, go ahead.
I was thinking about Chamber of Commerce.
Bingo. Thanks, Joe. That's a good one. I can call Pete and see if I can get him on board to talk to some of well, most of the businesses won't be in the municipal waste stream, but it still won't hurt to see if we can reach out to them.
I'm sure some will cooperate.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All righty.
What about maybe the Newington Garden Club?
Why not? Okay.
And do you have, how about what's happening in Newington on Facebook? That's a specific site, because a lot of people read that.
Absolutely. Now you guys are really getting the juices starting to run here. Okay, because we're trying to find out who it is so we can start crafting messages that would be going out for the next several months. Because one message is not going to do anything. It's got to be in your face, gently, with kind of fun ideas. Actually, one of my friends said that if you guys haven't seen the one I posted on thing, it says the old me, the new me. She said that I should actually be like, have 2 hats and be like an old me and then jump over here and be the new me and show the difference and like, just be kind of silly. And I said, well, I guess that could work. I don't care.
And I was thinking, how about putting we could put up some kind of billboard? I'm sure some businesses or places would let us put something up.
You know what? That's worth exploring, Joe. Okay. Let me just write this down. Mean like a flyer in their window or?
Or like we could put a flyer in the windows, and also if we could just put up like a major billboard on one of the main streets, like the Turnpike or the street or East Cedar Street.
Well, I don't think we have the funds for that, but we have a free posting. Maybe I have to check on the price of it on the center of town. Help me, in front of CVS. That's a 4x8 sign that fits there. So let me see about that. Because that's, you reserve that through Parks and Rec. Okay. Yeah, because billboards are quite expensive, like thousands of dollars. Though, let's all remember, we could work on this during the winter months, and then by springtime, we do have sources of funding for some of this, which will be very exciting. We have to do a little bit of work, but we can get it done. Okay, so we have various sectors of our community and trying to reach out. And Karen, I'm trying to think of that because I know we were talking about equity and including all people of how they can and cannot or whatever. I'm not sure if this will be a great equity because remember, the equity gets applied to one of the items. So we would have to take a look at that. If we have more questions about that, I would say that we get in touch with and have a conference with our representatives from Sustainable Connecticut, because I don't want to run down a path and find out that, oh, this is really not going to work and we've, used up our time.
Right. And they have equity coaches to help you as well. And I really did try to look at the previous history of other towns, and it's very general on the website. It's not that much more helpful than what we already know. Rob, I wonder if you could tell us what maybe the top 10 areas are with the most waste. Is it just general homeowners, or is there any other suggestions you have?
The only breakdown that I get is the green containers, the residential waste, and then the dumpsters from the condominiums. So I can't break it down any further than that. We don't pay for any commercial waste. It's strictly residential. And the only numbers that I get are the green containers and the dumpsters from the condominium.
So the condominium, so for example, as you know, I live in a condominium. So ours are deposited in the town based on that. And that's what you're saying, that composite, correct?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, just to explain it, most condominiums are collected via dumpsters. So they are collected by a different truck. So when that truck dumps, they get their weight tickets. At the end of the month, I get a compilation of the tonnage for that month. Residential homes are collected by green containers, which is 2 separate trucks, and they're in the same. They get their tickets, and I get a compilation, or a total, I should say, of the monthly weights. So it's broken down that.
Okay, so thank you for explaining that. So I think that's another good area to impact every single condo association is a different organization, and working with them. I know personally that there's a lot of work to be done with trash in that area.
Yeah, one option might be, because I believe there's about 2,240 residents that live in condominiums, and it might be an option to reach out to some of the boards and see if they would be willing to put something in their monthly newsletters that go out to the residents.
Yeah, a lot of them are online as well.
Okay, those are great. I mean, we have these various constituencies trying to reach out and get 30,000 people on board. Yes, I know we won't get everyone, but at least making everybody aware, and hopefully the inertia of the whole thing and being able to post progress and so forth. I think that's going to be very exciting, and go from there. And also, I guess, the communication thing will be the education portion of this. Is back to that little thing we did. I posted this to the old me, the new me, which touches on the reducing, reusing, repurposing, and just plain refusing. Don't bring it home. I was in the store the other day and they wanted to put my little box in a bag, and I'm like, no. And again, what do you mean no? I said, I can carry that myself. And I have a bag in the car. I forgot to bring it in, but it's just kind of one of these things, is kind of not being automatic and making that changes. And trust me, there are times all of a sudden I walk out and it's in a paper bag, and I'm like, why? I don't need it. So it's getting around with that, and maybe getting some help from you guys to write up some verbiage that we can use to put up slides, and also to put up and do a little bit of video. And they don't have to be long, something like 30. It's scary how long 30 seconds or 45 seconds is, but you could get an amazing amount of information out in that period of time. I know we run PSAs, and they're 15 seconds to 30 seconds long. And it's amazing what the message can be. So we can do something along those lines. They have to be fancy. But if they get a message out, people will know them and they'll be memorable. And of course, the last button on here was,
Bring back Newington Ned.
yes, bring back Newington Ned. I'm here in the NCTV studios tonight because it is studio night. And that was John Donahue telling us we're going to bring back Newington Ned. And if you go to our Facebook group, Newington Ned is right there up top. That little turtle guy. And if you didn't pay attention, he's on your green and blue dumpsters. Our Newington Ned. So, okay, yeah, I'll dress up in a turtle suit if I can find one, all right?
I have a couple other suggestions.
Yeah, please, Joe, go ahead.
How about flyers? Remember we talked about flyers?
Yep.
We could also maybe pass out the flyers at the Parks and Rec and the library.
Oh, good idea. Parks and Rec and library, because they are receiving or beginning to receive. I mean, that's easy enough to ask that they hand them out to their clients or patrons.
I think I said we could put something up on what's happening in Newington.
Yes, I have that. Yeah, what we will do is we put it on our site and then trade it out to everyone. So if they want more information, hopefully they come back to us and see more information. Cool. All right.
I want to ask if I may.
Oh, please, please.
Would apartments also be in that category of homeowners or condos?
Rob?
No, it's strictly the condominiums. We don't service any apartments.
Okay.
Is that we service 4 or less per building?
As far as residential homes go, yes.
Okay, all right. So if there were 6 units, that's not serviced by the town, but if there are 3 units in a building, that is serviced.
That is correct.
All right. I thought that was some kind of cutoff there. Okay, perfect. Let's see. What else do we have? Any other ideas? And if you come up with something before we close the night or after we've closed the night, please send them along because we got to put this all together and come up with a plan. So that becomes very automatic. So it's not time consuming on any one person's part. Okie dokie. Let's see. I think there's another slide there, isn't there, James? Oh, yeah, this is the thing I was looking at. The annual goal, 10%, 65 pounds per capita. Weekly, 65 pounds, 52. It's a pound and a quarter a week. So time to audit your garbage and find out what the heck you put in there. Because I'll be glad to empty mine. It takes me 2 weeks to fill my container. And it's all the kind of plastic I can't recycle. Otherwise, there'd be really nothing in mine. Next one, James.
Yeah, I'm here.
I know there's 1 or 2 more. Oh, there's that $92,000 of tax savings, which we could spend on something else that would be beneficial to making our place a better place to live. Moving on. Next. Now, I thought this was kind of funny. I don't know if you can see it. I've been reading various other towns who have gone through this and lowered their municipal waste. And this was really, do you know that we're coming up on this wonderful holiday of Halloween, and we have 2 billion pounds of pumpkins are grown in the US, and they end up in the trash. Billions. So this is from the Middletown recycling page. They actually have an entire page just about recycling pumpkins. Who would figure? They had all the usual things like we do with pink bags and electronics and things of this nature, but it was just something that was different. So they are getting the word out to tell people what you could do. So if you compost at home, that's the number 1 at the bottom. Put it in your bin, cut it up kind of small, and it will turn into black gold. Next page. We don't have this right now. Not saying we will have it. I saw that look, Rob. They have a food scrap collection at their transfer station. I don't know anything about it. I just read about it the other day. I thought that was amazing. And then the food scraps, which you as a resident goes and puts it in, you bring it there, you dump it, and then this container is then taken to an anaerobic digester where it becomes compost and dust and stuff. And I think it's a great idea. I don't know much about it yet, and I know there's a biodigester in Southington. So, and there's several others. I don't know how many are online yet. Okay, and then the other one they said, if you have a yard and you have some woods, cut up small pieces and put it out for the little critters, because again they'll eat it and make it go away, and it won't go in the garbage. So. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Halloween. And they said, though, if you paint your pumpkins, don't give it to the animals, because now you have toxic stuff on it. So, but just trying to find out what other people do. I thought it was pretty cool. So, and then I think is that it, James? I can't remember. Yes, it is. Okay, so we're done with that one. All righty. Any other notes on that, people?
No, just some great suggestions. Thank you, Patty.
All right. This is super. Well, this is it. We'll be able to put this all together and start coming up with the plan that's necessary. Thank you for all your input. I really, really, all your ideas coming from different avenues. You can become pretty, like this and not see everybody else's point of view. And that's really important that we be able to reach out. Okay, so letter D, upcycling contest. Joyce, do you have any more info yet?
Actually, there's a couple of things I would like to accomplish tonight. And one is to actually define upcycling. And then the other is to form a committee, but with vacancies. Maybe we can pull in from other commissions or committees, but let's get back to the definition of upcycling. This one, I'm not sure I really like all that much. It says upcycling is reuse discarded objects or material in such a way as to create a product of higher quality or value than the original. And the second definition is upcycling, also known as creative reuse or repurposing, is the process of transforming byproducts, waste materials, or products into something of greater quality, having artistic or environmental value.
Okay.
So my question is, if we're going to have an upcycling contest, I think we've got to define upcycling.
You got to put categories. They did an upcycling contest, which was design a dress. It was really fun. Amazing stuff got done. It was done in Hartford. Amazing work. So, I mean, I think we have to either do something age-wise for the kids so that they're, you can't put a high schooler against a third grader, or do something within topics. I'm not sure what to call that.
Well, no, all I'm saying is that if we're going to have a recycling contest for the town of Newington, we've got to define upcycling, because I think there are people who don't know what upcycling is.
Well, you just told us. Either of those definitions are exactly what we want to accomplish. Is that true or not?
Well, I read two. I mean, what is one better than the other? Do you want me to read them again?
Would you do that? Give everybody a chance to let it sink in one more time. Thank you, Joyce.
Okay. The first one, reuse, definition of upcycling. Reuse discarded objects or material in such a way as to create a product of higher quality or value than the original. And the second definition, upcycling, also known as creative reuse or repurposing, is a process of transforming byproducts, waste materials, or products into something of greater quality, having artistic or environmental value. I'm thinking maybe, I'm leaning towards the second one, but maybe crossing off.
Get a few extra words out of there.
Having artistic or environmental value. I don't think we need that.
I agree. I like that one as well. The second more than the first.
I just found something online real quick.
Oh, go ahead, Rob.
A process by which old products get to be modified and get a second life as they are turned into a new product. Something very simple.
Oh, I like that one too. I believe both the ones you found, Joyce, are actually somehow, if they could be melded together and some of the, what I call excess words taken out, it needs to be kind of short and sweet. We want to take old stuff and make it into new stuff.
So then you would be leaning towards the first definition.
Yes, but I like the second definition also, because it's just that, remember, this has to be able to put this on think about it. It's got to be short and sweet. If it gets too long, I think it will be hard to get it out there, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe that's my impression. So that's why we have a bunch of great minds here thinking about this.
Okay, so if that second one were to be shortened, it would read, upcycling, also known as creative reuse or repurposing, is the process of transforming byproducts, waste material, or products into something of greater quality.
Done.
Period.
That sounds wonderful.
And comments from the other people?
Joe?
That sounds good.
Rob?
No, I think it's good. Short and sweet, I think, is going to get more attention than something, that might be too long.
Karen?
Yeah, I think it sounds good. I think you had the word products in there twice or three times. Maybe take that out. But I think emailing it to all of us, part of the minutes, of course, will help too.
Yeah, if you could send that along, because then we can all send back any other thoughts we've had a chance to hear it tonight, and then get that from you and send it back, and then we'd probably have a finished product for the recycling side of the upcycling of what this is all about. Excellent.
And then as far as a committee, since we seem to be losing people, is it possible we can recruit people from other commissions or committees like the Conservation Committee or the Planning and Zoning or Garden Club or whatever? I don't know. But we need to form a committee.
That's fine. If you have people that are interested, like to sit on the commission, get them interested, then we can get, depending on the seat, because I have to go back and look, they have to be recommended to be from either political party to the town council.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
That's
the vacancy we're talking about, I thought.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. We have these two vacancies, and doesn't look like they're going to be filled anytime soon. In fact, maybe that's in that press release. If we have a press release going out, maybe we can mention in that press release that there's vacancies in the business sector And we've got 2 vacancies on the commission that need to be filled. So maybe that press release would help in that area. But my point is, we're going to need an upcycling committee. And if we don't have enough people on our committee, can we recruit from other committees?
Absolutely. You won't stop me keeping anybody from helping us out, period.
So
Because some folks maybe only want to work on an event. That's it. They don't want to be on a commission. They'd like to work on an event. So
can you email me some names and suggestions of other people?
James, are you there? Is the committee list updated yet?
I'll be getting it up on the website as soon as it quiets down and I take a day off on Friday.
No, you're not allowed a day off. Jesus, what are you, nuts? Okay, yeah. Do we expect something maybe by a week from Friday?
Yeah, easily.
Thank you. Okay, once we get that, then Joyce, you will have an updated list of all the commissions and all the people. And we can then take a look at who to contact.
Great.
How's that? There you go.
Super, I'm happy. I'm happy camper.
That gets me nervous.
That's all I got.
Oh, we lost Rob. Where'd he go? Oh, he's probably doing something. All righty. So yes, we have open positions. Now, last meeting, Gail Verdraco, she couldn't be here tonight. She had to attend another.
I just signed on.
Oh my goodness. What is this like? Ooh. I'm very sorry for your loss, Gail.
Oh, no, thank you.
I'm so glad for you to be able to be with us. Right on cue, because positions open on commission, and we were talking, or you brought up last, give everybody their credit here, with the 2 industry seats.
Yes, but first, can I just go back to that upcycling thing? Because I tried raising my hand.
Yes, please do.
Is there a reason it has to be, because I think both definitions you read said it has to be of greater value than the original. And the one that Rob read was just, it has to be repurposed or reused. To me, the whole purpose of, recycling or whatever, I mean, it can be of equal value or even less value as long as you're not throwing it away.
I agree. I had a bit of a problem with that too. I thought it should be of equal value, equal or greater value.
Right.
So I can include that or change the definition to read that.
Okay. It was just a thought. Okay, now back to the positions open. I tried to do a little research, and actually I'm glad James is on.
So much for a day off, James.
Well, the thing is that the last time this committee or this commission was looked at by the town council, well, first of all, it's not in the town charter, so that's good. I think it's easier to make changes. Correct me if I'm wrong, James.
That's true.
But the last time anything was done was in September of 2016. And I was able to get the minutes of that meeting at the town council, but the only thing that was there, it said, Mayor Zartarian explained some of the changes involved reducing the membership from 11 to 7 and reducing some of the functions of the commission since some required professional or technical training. And to me, that's the industry members. And at that point, they also reviewed and redid the purpose of the commission. And you are all very familiar with the purpose. And when you read the purpose, it's talking about quality of life, researching opportunities and recommending policies and procedures to improve the quality of the environment, promoting environmentally friendly practices for residents and businesses, town operations, promoting programs and events related to environmental quality, including but not limited to litter pickups, blah, blah, blah. Recognize monitoring and reporting to the town council any changes in environmental laws that might impact the town. I don't know, James, is it appropriate? Can this committee recommend to the town council or bring forth a recommendation that they feel that industry membership is maybe no longer a necessary component of this committee? Because at this point, if there's anything really environmentally, hazardous, and, the definition of what the industry person like be is, it has to deal with hazardous chemicals, certain quantities, blah, blah. I think at this point, the state and the DEEP and whatever has a good handle on that. I'm not quite sure a commission would actually be charged with monitoring and going after that. I think there are enough other functions in town that now are clued into it. And maybe you'll be able to get more like lay members or green members versus, an industry membership. And I don't know if it's up to you all to make this recommendation or what you think about it, but I really think given the changed purpose and the function of your commission, I'm not sure you really need that high level tech industry member anymore. But, I was also trying to go back to the original formation of the committee, but that was in 1987. And unfortunately, none of that is on, you can't access those minutes or whatever through the website now. So if we wanted to go back that far, James would have to assist me in trying to dig that stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah, that very well organized.
We're actually working on that right now, Gail. I'm hoping within the next year, we'll actually have all the town council minutes online and available to the public, fully searchable. But I did pull up the ordinance that we did pass back in 2016. That one, yeah, they did add it as one industry member for 1 year and one for another. They didn't really outline the reasoning other than defining the industry shall mean organizations and businesses with hazardous chemicals above certain qualities, which are required by U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to submit emergency hazardous chemical inventory forms. And I'm not quite sure why they defined that specifically, because I really wasn't working with the council at that time.
See, that was a holdover, because I was, at those meetings, I believe, and I don't think there was really a discussion of why we still need the industry members. And I guess that's where, again, I don't know whether I should explore it with the town manager, but I think, the highway department, engineering, whatever, has people on staff with that expertise and should be really monitoring and aware of big environmental issues like that. Because even quite frankly, with the oil spill, nobody from environmental quality got involved. It was handled through other.
No, they did not bring it to environmental quality. At that point, it was an oil spill. It was not looking out for anything, and they were not the people on the committee. Joe, I think you were on it, still on at that time, yes?
Yeah, I was still on it, but we never touched it. As a matter of fact, some people, I think a couple people that came to our commission asking questions about it, we had to redirect them to the town council.
Yeah, see, I think there's other experts in town now, and I'm not sure that would necessarily fall under the purview of this commission at this point. It's just my own opinion. I don't know.
I do think if people do come to our commission with issues, we should direct them to the right people, or we should get information to them, or maybe sometimes we could have people from other commissions come to our meetings if a major issue needs to be addressed.
Maybe I like the idea of having a business representative, maybe
Correct.
not necessarily related
hazardous
to
waste. Yeah.
hazardous waste.
I will say in 2016, it was specifically the committee that made the request to bring this to the council for change. So if that's what you guys want to do, it's a matter of us looking at the ordinance, suggesting changes, and sending it to the town manager to request leadership place it on to amend or change that resolution.
Right, because at that point, the committee, just like now, was having, well, it was a bigger committee, it was 11 members. They could never get a quorum.
Correct.
Right.
And quite frankly, at that point, all the activities had dwindled down to an annual litter pickup.
Right. So we have, I think, how about if I send out to everyone the, whatever that thing is called, which
The
is,
purpose,
yeah, that the purpose that set us together and how we're organized so everybody could have a chance to read it. It's kind of hard. We're talking great stuff, but having it in front of you and send it out. And I would then request each and every one to read it and then put your 2 cents down. I would change this or I would change that. And let's see if we can pull that together with a consensus, and then we'll send it up. The worst they can do, tell us no. But I think this particular commission has evolved tremendously in as much as everything else we've been involved with in overall period. We need to be current and stuff that matters. And having Sustainable Connecticut actually allows us to dabble in lots and lots of areas that make Newington a much better place to live. So that would be great. And just because we submit it next summer, let's hope, fingers crossed, everything works. That sustainable award we receive is only good for 3 years. So we need to continue to work on things that we would, let's say if we got the 10% down in garbage, let's make believe for a moment. We would then then continue to move it on. Let's not lose anything, because we could always learn to be a little bit more stingy with what we put in the garbage. All right. But Gail, thank you very much for looking that up. I was hoping that you had a chance to get a little more insight. And James, thank you for bringing that up, that the committee actually made the recommendation. That I did not know. So we can go there. So I'm putting on my list that I'll get out by the weekend is a copy of everything of this of our statement and mission and so forth. Send that out to everybody, and then I'll put a note on it when I get it out to hopefully about a week's time, so that we can then assemble it and send it. Maybe even turn it back around and see if we can come back with almost a finished item for next month, and then be able to send it up to the town manager and ask for consideration by the town council. How's that? Thumbs up, everybody. What happened to Rob? Did he go away? Rob, are you there? Guess you fell off there. Okay.
no, he's muted.
No, I'm here, Patty.
Oh, thanks. Oh, there you are. I didn't want you to go to sleep yet, Rob. You're our star. All right. So, okay. So lastly, the next area, which kind of new business, I'm leaving it there in case anybody has anything new they want to start adding under new business. So I left a very general statement there, which is anything about communications, education, reducing, reusing, recycling, and yes, Newington Ned. Any ideas, anything worth looking at?
I'm not sure where this would fall.
It's
but,
new business. Go for it.
I had sent you a copy of that press release about this committee and sustainability, et cetera, et cetera. And excuse me?
No, go ahead.
And I was wondering if you reviewed it, and is it going to be sent out to the newspapers?
Joyce, I asked you to send it to me again because I can't find it.
I sent it twice.
Really? Okay. Which email did you send it to? I just want to verify.
The environmental quality email.
Oh, I don't know. That was just for the contest. Sorry. That's why I didn't see it.
Okay, I'll send it again, but this will
Send
be.
it to the pattyfoley.nctv@gmail.com.
Oh, you want me to send it to the NCTV?
Yeah, use that one all the time unless it has to do with the contest. The contest was what we used that email for.
Okay, I'll send it again.
Thank you, dear. Appreciate it. Okay.
Patty,
Yes, sir.
just so you know, I just sent out the charge of the committee to all members as well as liaisons for you.
Whoa.
I can multitask behind the scenes.
You know what? I'm just not going to go there.
So everybody's got the opportunity to review that for you.
Oh, that's super good. So everybody get 1 week from today, if you could find appropriate an hour or so and take a look at it, or over a couple of days and get some ideas. Write your, I don't like this, or I like this, or I would like to see that, whatever it might be. Put it down. Let's see if we can pull together a couple versions, and then we can decide on it. Just like we did with Joyce and coming up with a good idea for the upcycling. Okay.
And just if I could add, while you're looking at it, see if you believe we still need those 2 high-level industry tech membership members, or is there some other type of skill you'd want to see? Like, you mentioned a business person, just a general business person. Kind of think of membership at this point, and do we really still need the environmental hazardous waste expertise?
I was thinking, would somebody from like town planning and zoning, would that be somebody good to come on our committee?
You have to remember there's only so many folks who can be on how many committees and so many nights out a week. Hopefully we could maybe bring in some newer folks, like Joyce and Karen, myself, are all newer. Joe's got the seniority. He's been around the longest. Oh, no, maybe Rob has. Sorry, Rob. And James is a new guy on the block too. So maybe we can, track some other folks who are showing interest. And I think Joyce's point of view is well said earlier, which is you don't have to be on the commission, but you could work on, let's say, an event or something that we're working on. So somebody who only has a short amount of time to offer, I think being a little bit of flexible would be really behoove us to move forward. Cool.
I just wanted to add as well, Joe, to comment about TPZ, for example. Someone could come if we needed them to one of our meetings as well. It doesn't have to be an existing ongoing member, right?
Mm-hmm. I was at the Conservation Commission last month so that we could talk about Sustainable Connecticut and how they are working on putting together some information that would satisfy one of our points, one of our items, because that's what we have to do. We got to be working on the list that we have from Sustainable Connecticut, but on what is it called? Invasive species of plants, and what we should get rid of these and keep these, or plant more things that are more normal to be planted here, as opposed to things that are that will take over and actually, there's sections of the parks that have I forget what's called, Japanese knotweed in it, and it's just like killing off parts of the wooded areas, and all that stuff is very important. And it's just one of the various items, which is invasive plants. So we've got that commission already pulling together a couple items, and there's a lot in there. You need to all take a read at, and the best way to read it is not in paper because it's just voluminous. But go online and you're all set up there, and read about the various items. There's 8 categories. Actually, about coming January, there will be 9 categories plus equity. Equity is always it's kind of the thing on top. But the eighth category, they're reorganizing and shuffle things around, which actually makes so much better sense. But the eighth category will be a discussion, and we have to do everything in every category. So we need to start looking at the other categories. The new category is, what is Newington doing about homelessness? Now, homelessness doesn't mean living in a cardboard box. It means a lot of different things. So there's a big discussion on that. It's going to be a new area effective January 1. And we're going to have to deal with it and be something that we do, whether it be in housing or in working with human services, because it's represented by a lot of different avenues there. It's not just the really down and out. So anyway, just something to keep in mind. So that's all I have there. Thank you for your input.
But I just want to explain the reason why I said town plan zona, because a lot of times people will come to our commission expecting us to address all kinds of issues, just like they wanted us to address when we had the oil spill. And I was just thinking, if we had someone that has direct knowledge of what's currently going on, that's why I was just suggesting that, because sometimes we don't have the answers to everything.
I agree. We will never have the answers to everything. But, good point. Well, it doesn't hurt to ask. And I don't know if the new assistant planner will be assigned to us for the Sustainable Connecticut. He's thinking of 1 or 2 people. So we're going to find out about that next week. As soon as I know, you guys will all know, because the town manager is coming up with something on that. Cool. All right. James, did we have anybody from public participation showing up today yet?
Still nobody here.
So good. All right, we can skip that part and move on. I really missed the public, just in case you're going to watch me later. Let's kind of go around the room. Any comments for today? Let's see. Joyce, why don't you start off? I am putting people on the hot seat.
I will put together a new and improved definition of upcycling, and I look forward to getting a list of people on various commissions and committees so I could contact some of them and hope they will agree to do a participation for one event, and that is the upcycling contest.
Good, thank you. I love doing this kind of thing. Karen.
I think a good place for me to start would be to get a list of all the condos in town and then start digging through to see what association they are part of.
You can, I'll send you the link. There is a list already made up. It's in the Newington information booklet that is on the library's webpage. And it lists all the condominiums, all there.
Perfect place to start. Thank you so much.
The homework, the big part of the homework got done in getting the list ready. But I will send you a link. Okay, send link to Newington info package. Okay, that's cool. Excellent. All right. And if you would continue to look, Karen, at the people who, or the towns who have actually done an equity thing, and see whether that subject matter, where did they apply their equity to, which other areas, or I should say, which of the items, so that maybe we can find the one that would fit us the best. Because I know some of the places where equity was applied, at least from my first reading, was like, that wouldn't work with us. So maybe you can take a look and get, you know how to do a sort on that? Do you know how to do the sort at the?
I'm not so sure that I didn't find it to be very user friendly. So maybe I'm missing that function.
Okay, I'll send you a note how to find the sort. because it isn't that friendly, but once you do it half a dozen times, it starts to become at least rote that you can do it. Okay. Then you can see some of the, what other places have done. Okay. Super. And Joe. Hey, Joe, are you there? What's any comments?
You muted, Joe.
Oh, yes, he's muted. Okay. Press the space bar, Joe. No. No, I can't hear Joe. Joe, you're still muted. All right, Joe is experiencing some technical difficulties. Gail, let's go around to you.
No, it's glad to see that there's a couple different initiatives going on, and where I can, I'll throw in my assistance. So
Thank you so much. We really do appreciate you being here. It really helps to get us a perspective and to get going on this. And of course, now we leave it up to the man of the hour, because everybody needs to have one of those occasionally. Joe, did you actually figure out how to unmute yourself? All right. Let's see. Mr. Hillman, you can round out our evening.
All right, I can, I'll just keep it simple with, as far as Karen, with your list of condominiums. I have a distribution list of the management companies for almost all the condominiums in Newington. They do change hands pretty frequently, some of them. So we try to keep it up to date as best we can. But I can share that with you, with the information that I have, and maybe between the two of us, we can write something up, or the commission can write something up that we can send to all the I can send to the management companies anyways, so they can bring to the boards for all these associations.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Then as requested, now we have an item at there telling us when our next meeting is. Will be Thursday. November 12th at 6:30. And as far as I know, we'll meet here on our virtual meeting room.
I got back on. Could you hear me?
Oh, there you are. You're just there. Go ahead. Joe, you get to fill it out now.
Sorry, no, I was just thinking, remember we were saying it could be of equal value or more value. I was thinking you want to just put value in, because like what equal or more value, there's various degrees of that.
Excellent. All right. Do we have anything else from anyone? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, somebody has to unmute themselves and second it.
I have a question
Whoops. Go ahead, Joyce.
in regard to what Joe just said. I think I need clarification on what he wants or what he's saying.
Remember when we said our mission statement and we were saying about recycling, it could be of the same value or greater value. I was just thinking they just want to put of some value, because there's people have different opinions on what more value or the same value with. If we just put of some value.
Good, Joe.
I think it has to be, because the term is upcycling, it has to be improved value of some sort, greater.
Okay, yeah, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, okay.
All righty. Okay. Are we ready for adjournment? Can I get somebody to make an motion, please?
I'm making a motion for adjournment.
Thank you, Joe. Can I get a second?
I second.
Thank you, Karen. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. All right. So I will, we'll send more stuff out and we'll go from there. Thank you.
good night.
James, thank you very much for running the slides.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye now, everybody.
Bye.